time to make shift happen live. That's Video on Main Studios. Get ready to shift your perspective on life, people, and the world we live in. And here to do that is your host, Fran Holinda.
Hey shifters, it's Fran Holinda, host of the Make Shift Happen show, and I'm here today to tell you about an exciting new project that my co-host Lisa A and I are embarking on. We're going to be doing a Facebook Live show right here at Video on Main Studios, and we are just here to tell you today, or I'm actually here to tell you today, all about it, give you a behind-the-scenes look, introduce you to our executive producer, Bill Clanton, and get you all excited and ready for what's coming in the future. So let's start with the introductions. Bill Clanton, say hello to the audience.
Hello to the audience.
Hello, Bill. Hello, how are you?
I am happy to be here. I am ready to make shift happen.
Well, strap in, my friend. Strap in. You're in for a ride. So people might be saying, well, wait a minute. Where is the other shift chick? You know, we're the shift chicks, Lisa and Fran. Where's your other shift chick? Well, you know, shift happens. It happens all the time. And as it turns out, we had some serious weather issues in the last couple of weeks. So while I was on vacation in Charleston, Lisa was supposed to be snowboarding in Lake Placid. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. So while I'm here working my arse off, she's snowboarding in Lake Placid. What do you think about that?
I have never gotten up the guts to actually get on a snowboard.
I am a snow bunny. I refer to myself as a snow bunny. And I've said this before, that my theory is that if I'm being carted off to the hospital, you know, in the shape of that pretzel, when they, you know, that they go, whoa, look at that outfit. That's one hot snow bunny there. So yeah. So today I'm taking over the job. Today's kind of like an infomercial. It's not really our first launch. We can't launch without the shift chicks together.
Of course. Yes.
But I wanted to let our audience know what they're in store for, and it's a perfect day because it's March 15th.
The Ides of
The
March.
Ides of March. Beware the Ides of March. So beware. The shift chicks are coming live on Facebook with Bill. Bill, so, you know, when we were planning our studio, and we were planning our setup, you know, I looked on to all of the shows that are the most popular. Jimmy Fallon, the Today Show, which, of course, you know, I want to be Hoda and Kathy Lee. I mean, well, we want, you know, I'm not sure which one I want to be and which one Lisa wants to be, but that's what we want to do. So we started looking at all of their setup, and, you know, we looked at their control room. And so then we put together a control room. Let's show our audience what that looks like.
I think that is a proper representation of what's really going on. The part that everyone can't see right now in front of me is that, where we are launching missiles. Right from here.
Right from here. Here we are. Okay. NASA, move on over. And, you know, we also wanted to make sure that we had a band. I mean, Jimmy Fallon has the Roots.
Absolutely.
So we want our own version of a band. There you go. Look at that. Oh, that's going to be fabulous. I can't wait till we get this guys going. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, they're
all right. And they're working on our very own theme song. There we go. Okay. Now, you know, everyone has props, right? You have to have a studio. You have to have props. You have to have a set. So let's take a quick look. We have some signage here. We have some fun things that we like to put into our set. We have our Tequila Makes My Clothes Fall Off sign. We have our happy hour, enter here sign, because, you know, this is going to be the happiest hour. Eventually we're going to be an hour, right? Today, not so much, but eventually we're going to be an hour. And then we have our lovely sign here. Nobody gets in to see the wizard. Not nobody, not know how. That's been something I've carried along with me for the last few years from office to office. And of course, you know, there will be makeup and there will be hair. And of course, there will be wardrobe. And when we are together, when the shift chicks are together, this is what wardrobe has given us. Okay, we have our Make Shift Happen show t-shirts. But of course, the best part is the back of the t-shirt, which asks the ever-pressing question, thank you. What's on your shift list? And, you know, with the passing, rest in peace, of Stephen Hawking, I'm sure this is exactly what he's trying to find the answer to as we speak. Life's deep questions, yes. Not so much whether there is eternity, but what is on your shift list. Okay. And, of course, what would a television show be without the mug? So unfortunately, because there was absolutely no money left in the budget to make mugs, we have just taken some business cards and taped them to the mug. It works. And actually, because there's no money for booze, we only have water. And I'm going to take a sip right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, sadly, it's only water.
And none for me.
I'm sorry. Well, you know what, Bill? I'm hoping that between now and our first show, which will be in a couple of weeks, we will have at least 2 more mugs, one for you and one for Lisa.
Well, I feel honored.
Yeah.
I feel completely honored.
So now that everyone knows exactly what's going on here, including my lovely table, by the way, I love this.
I made that table.
This is just wonderful.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you for that.
It used to be a commercial sewing machine stand. And I seriously made that table.
Well, you know, when I look at the bottom, it looks like there's a pedal missing here somewhere, right? There should
exactly.
be. Where's the hole?
I
Where's
was going to keep that there for you so you could pedal.
Eject myself. In case we run out of power, I could just pedal and keep the microphone. I like it. I like the way you
makeshift show run on. It runs on pedal power.
It runs on pedal power. Yeah, well, you know, yeah, and tequila, but not sadly. So, you know, makeshift happens all the time, and shift happens, and that's kind of going to be the theme of the show. Mm-hmm. Like those weird little quirky things in life that you have no control over. For example, this morning, right, in my excitement to get down here and record this PS, I'm going to call it a PSA because it is like a warning that we're coming. Yeah, it's a public service announcement. I realized about halfway down the parkway that I had neglected to put on deodorant.
But you smell powdery
But
fresh.
I do smell powdery fresh. And the reason for that is because in this wonderful little town of Barnegat, New Jersey, there is a drugstore on every corner. So thanks to Suave and to Walgreens, I am powdery fresh, and Bill has nothing to worry about.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm going to be leaving that here for emergency purposes only. But those are the kinds of things that we're going to talk about. Silly, goofy things, important things. I think we should give our audience a taste of some of it. You want to stand in for Lisa today? You want to be a shift chick?
I will try to be the best shift chick. My skirt's riding up a little bit.
Don't you hate that? We had this conversation about you need to spray it with that spray.
Yeah, I know.
He's got a little static cling going, so I guess
Static cling
you're not going to be able to see that. You got your kilt on for this week, for this weekend.
St. Patrick's Day,
yeah, you celebrating anything?
We usually do corned beef and cabbage. That's
Yes.
our usual routine.
You and the entire world, but that's okay. Yes.
I mean, it's real original. But we actually do it as kind of a Friendsgiving event. We get together with our friends, and we usually did a German Thanksgiving. That's our normal MO. But we, in recent years, switched it to being St. Patrick's Day and doing corned beef and cabbage, the soda bread, and all that.
I like it. All right. The address will be, I'll give you the address at the end of the show. Well, you know what? So let's start with some of those things that are in the news, because like I said, this is going to be a taste of what we would be talking about.
Okay.
So there's a couple of things that are on my radar today. One is very sad. Well, actually, there's two that are all three are very sad. The first is Toys R Us is closing. They're closing all 700 and some odd stores.
It is very sad because it's been an institution.
70 some odd years.
Yeah.
Were you a Toys R Us kid?
I was a Toys R Us kid. I look back at all those commercials that always ran during my shows, and yes, I wanted to be a Toys R Us
Jeffrey,
kid.
where's Jeffrey gonna go?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he'll go maybe with April. They'll put Jeffrey with April. I don't know. We'll find
Jeffrey unemployed.
But you know what it is? Okay. And I am an online shopper. I am an Amazon Prime member. They are at my house almost every single day because I order a lot. I have a problem. Okay. I confess on television, I have a problem. But, you know, the experience of young children going to a toy store, there's like nothing like it.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that the Walmart, excuse me, time to take a tequila, water.
It is water, folks.
It is water, folks. Yes.
Do not condone anything other
Poland
than
Springs,
water.
we don't drink and drive. Anyway, so it's just not the same thing as, you know, going to the department in a store. There's something about, I think of my kids, I think of all the times, especially when they were really small and, you know, you were putting Christmas presents together while they were sleeping because Santa Claus was coming. And the trips to Toys R Us, hiding the bags, hiding it in the car, in the trunk, in the attic and everywhere. And I just feel like a lot of that's going to get lost somehow, you know, seeing and touching. Now you just order everything online is just not the same thing.
Yeah, seeing those rows of toys.
And stuffed animals.
Yeah, that was always the thing. But you know what? Part of the problem is, and this is if I can get all technical.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
The problem is...
The engineer's coming out in them.
Toys R Us has seen the writing on the wall for
I
a
know.
long time.
I know.
And if Toys R Us had just gotten on the bandwagon and got into online sales
I know.
when it was cool to do so... then we wouldn't have this issue.
But also think about all of the news people who aren't going to be able to cover all of those women and men fighting over that last Cabbage Patch doll. That made for fabulous news.
That was great TV.
That was great TV. That was riveting.
We're
To
left
rip
with
it out of
Walmart.
somebody's hands.
We can't even send them to Kmart.
Oh
anymore,
God,
you know?
Kmart. There's only one Kmart that I know of.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I know they're still out there, and I know that the WalMarts and the Walgreens and all these different places, it's just never going to be the same. And I think that it's sad. And the other thing is they have big buildings everywhere. So now you've got all this retail space that's out there. Meantime, we're still building. Do you notice that? You'll see empty buildings everywhere, and you'll see across the street someone's putting up another. They've knocked down more trees, and they're building a building. What? I don't understand that. I've never understood that.
They're building storage spaces.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. To house all the toys that nobody bought. Exactly. It just anyway.
Storage units.
Well, R.I.P. TRU. I had to think about it for a minute. Okay, please. This is a woman who had no deodorant on already.
Sorry, we
right,
lost
and the other
Stephen
one-
Hawking and Toys R Us in the same
Oh
week.
my gosh. Well, actually, and this one breaks my heart. Okay, so I'm a dog lover. Everyone who knows me knows I love my animals.
Yes.
And on the MakeshiftHappenShow.com, we have a segment just for dogs. Because every week on the radio show, we like to talk about Rescue Ridge and Tales of Hope and different organizations who rescue dogs. So to hear that this little tiny dog died on a United Airlines flight has really upset me.
Yeah, that's a serious issue.
Who in their right mind? And, I got to tell you, I am a United flyer, mostly because of convenience, to be honest with you, because they're a Newark hub, right? I have the Visa card, which I'm actually going to cancel because that's how aggravated and disgusted that I am with them. After dragging human beings off of the planes, now they're stuffing small dogs into storage containers, storage bins.
And I've never traveled with my dog, so I've never experienced this. So I didn't even realize that this was even possible, that you could take your small dog into the cabin with you.
Yeah, well, okay, so what you do is you pay. You don't buy a seat, but you pay, and then you must have them in a TSA regulated size carrier. And this carrier is supposed to fit under the seat. If it doesn't fit under the seat, I believe they have to go in like as baggage or whatever. But anyway, so apparently this woman did everything right. So there's a lot of miscommunication here. There's a lot of BS. I'm calling BS on this one. And interestingly enough, we haven't heard from or seen who the flight attendant is. But okay, so there's this thing like the woman didn't speak English properly, and her daughter was trying to tell other passengers knew very well that there was a dog. The stewardess helped pick up this carrier and put it in the bin. You don't know there's a dog in there, and it barked. And she still doesn't understand that there's a dog in there. I have a real problem.
There's no deniability on that.
Yeah, I have a problem. So they've accepted responsibility. Okay, great. And there's still a dead dog. And then I saw that people are actually blaming the owner because they're saying that, well, if it were me, I would have been thrown off the plane because I would never in a million years have allowed that to happen. But I don't know that she really completely understood what was, I don't know. But I'm just so sad for this dog.
Yeah, I guess when you look at the owner, did the owner put up enough of a fight to acknowledge that to some people, their dogs are their babies, their baby being put in a cabin.
Now that I could understand. I'm only kidding. I'm also... Because there really is nothing more pleasant than a crying baby on an airplane.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, you just see the sound.
I
That sound just resonates through the cabin.
Every time I get on a plane,
Yeah.
I actually ask the stewardess if she can put more of those
around you.
me.
Well, the best is when my husband and I actually paid for first class tickets and then had a family with young children sitting in first class. And the little 6-year-old got the last salad that I wanted.
The nerve.
Really? Isn't this what first class is supposed to be? Like, not only do I get my own bathroom, but I don't have to contend with a 6-year-old stealing my food.
Didn't they okay, we have X number of seats. We're gonna need X number of salads.
I don't know. I don't know. But even that. But and listen, I applaud anybody who can fly a family of 4 in first class. I don't know what you pay or don't pay for babies, but you had to pay for the 6-year-old. I don't put a 6-year-old in first class. They go in the baggage overhead. Just saying. Okay.
Especially the ones that steal your salad.
Especially the ones that steal my salad. But thank God they didn't steal my alcohol. That never happens. All right. And then my final thought for the day, and thank God I'm sure you're all saying, is Burt Reynolds
Has been.
Was. You took the words right out of my mouth, Bill. Burt Reynolds was on the Today Show today speaking with Hoda Kotb. Now, I do not know exactly how old he is. He looks like he's 100 years old. He sounds awful. Like it was he sounds like an old man because he's an old man.
He is an old man.
He is an old man, and he sounded awful. And sometimes I just think that you should just leave well enough alone and just stay hidden, and don't try to make a comeback because,
he's not Smokey the Bandit anymore.
No, he smoked.
Yeah.
He smoked, and that's interesting. You say that because behind him, on their beautiful set, you know how like we have stuff behind us on our set. Oh wait, no, we don't.
On the other side.
Sorry about that. Forgot. We're still under construction. They had all his pictures from his movies, from whatever, some award he had, and he was a hot, handsome man. People were like in love with Burt Reynolds. He did the Playgirl spread at one point in time. Now nobody wants to see that now. Oh my God. You need like everything dropped. Sure, it's not a pleasant centerfold anymore.
No, definitely not.
But so that just leads me to say this, that obviously I've been around the block a few times myself, but I am looking for success and hoping for success in the broadcasting field in my later years. And do you know why, Bill?
Why is that?
Because if you're old enough when you start, you don't live long enough to be a has-been.
Right.
But
you have to have been.
Exactly. So how sad is it for all? Look at all these people that come back. How many, you are into music, I know that, and follow. Yeah. How many musicians that you thought were done suddenly come back?
Oh, it happens all the time.
Now, do you think it's because they're broke, or do you think it's because they miss because this is all they know?
Well, I think it goes both ways. One, I know several musicians who are from the doo-wop era, for example. Okay. They had hit songs. They're out and they're still performing, and they're getting paid $100 to go sing at the club down the street.
Yeesh.
Yeah, okay, so they're doing it for the money.
A supplement to their Social Security, let me just say.
But then there are others that I know that they can't stay away from it long enough.
It's like their drug.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or too long. Yeah. It's their drug. You're absolutely right. Because they just crave the stage and they'll do it for free just to be a part of it.
Like me. I do it for free. Well, you know what? I would personally not enjoy seeing the Rolling Stones. I don't need to see Mick Jagger, a man in his 70s now, bouncing around the stage, trying to be the same Mick Jagger he was, like 50 years ago. Think about it.
And there's a lot of performers like that, especially once they're hitting late 60s.
You gotta change it up a little bit.
And they gotta know when to stop.
Yeah.
When their voices aren't there anymore and they can't hit the notes anymore.
Or you break a hip because you're bouncing across the stage. That might be a clue. Well, that's just it. And I think what happens is because they are considered icons and legends, living legends, we go and we see them and we pay money, and then we're somewhat, maybe disappointed. It's sort of like you retire, like when baseball players and football players retire on top, like Jeter, like on top.
Neil Diamond, for example.
Yeah, this is sad.
It's a sad story, but he's smart about it.
Yes, I agree with you.
He knew when to get out of the game where we can still remember
the Neil, right? We could still have. Too bad we didn't cue up "Sweet Caroline." That would have been kind of nice tribute.
I know that would have been excellent.
But also, Simon and Garfunkel, Paul Simon. I had to think of which one because I just saw that Garfunkel is going to be at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank without Simon.
Of course, they haven't been together.
I know they haven't been together, but I'm just thinking. And then I know Paul Simon is on his farewell tour. Elton John is on his farewell tour.
Yeah, no more Elton John.
No more Elton John. I mean, good. What is it? Goodbye Yellow Brick Road tour.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I love when people do play on words and stuff like that.
And I'm sure it's only a matter of time before Billy Joel follows suit. I mean, come on. He's already reading his lyrics off of a teleprompter.
My husband and I and friends of ours saw Billy Joel several years ago. And as I reported after the concert, that first of all, he was extremely chubby when he was playing. And I was really trying to figure out how he got to the piano keys. That was part of my issue. But he was crappy. He still sounded good, but he was complaining about his allergies that night. Dude, I paid hundreds of dollars for these tickets. Suck it up. You do it, 2 nights a month?
Yeah.
And play. And play the way you're supposed to play. But whatever. Anyway, irrelevant. There is a time and a place. And so, Bert, I'm sorry, dude. Oh, and by the way, he did mention that Sally Field was the love of his life.
Which was
Sorry, Lonnie Anderson. She just signed off from WKRP. But yeah, so those were my three. Those were my three burning issues that I had to discuss. And so, if that gives you all just a little taste of what's to come, stay tuned. Be on the lookout, because we will be letting you know whenever Bill lets us actually back into the studio again. We will be Facebook Live, as I said before. This is pre-recorded because God only knows I need to be edited. But we will be Facebook Live, and there will be times that we will invite you to join us. So beware the Ides of March, and go out there and make shift happen.